Hello and welcome to the United Stand. I don't know why I'm going Australian, because I'm not. But hello and welcome to the United Stand, Saturday night live, if you are watching live. New potential concept here, Saturday night live Q&A. Lots to discuss, but first of all, before, we've got your Twitter questions, we've got Snapchat questions, and more importantly, we've got live chat questions. But the title of the show is Manchester United's dream summer transfer window, because a few of you have been saying, what would be your dream Manchester United summer transfer window? And if you've seen me playing FIFA and stuff like that, you'll know I don't go stupid. It'd be very easy to say, let's sign Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, and the rest. That's not going to happen. I don't think that's a dream. That's just unrealistic. But my dream Manchester United transfer window summer, very quickly, I'll whiz through it. De Gea to stay, 100%. I want De Gea to stay. Let's go through positions. De Gea to stay. I'm happy with Valencia. I'm happy with the backup that we've got. Centre backs, obviously, I'm very happy with Bailly. I would be signing a centre back, and for me at the moment, I think Marquinhos or Varane are the two that Marquinhos, or however you say it, are my two, or Varane. I like them. Yes, they're expensive, but it'd be one of those two to play with Bailly. Left back, I still want it to be Luke Shaw. So I'm going to stay with Luke Shaw, and we've got Daley Blind as well. Although I don't know whether it's my dream summer, so that's that. So I've kept De Gea. I bought a centre back into the midfield. I do want us to sign a centre defensive midfielder. I still stand by, and I know I'm going to look bad because he's probably going to go to Man City, but I still stand by Fabinho because he can play centre defensive midfield, but he can play right back as well. And I think that fluidity would be good for United. We definitely need to sign a centre defensive midfielder. If it's not going to be Fabinho, then Nainggolan, however you say it, I'm rubbish with his name, from Roma would be good. Obviously, someone like Cruz. But if it's my dream summer and I can sign any centre defensive midfielder that I like, then for me it would be. It's really difficult, and this is the job that Mourinho's got. It's really difficult to get somebody to come in and play that position. I'm sort of stumped. I'm stumped myself. I mean, I can tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Kessie. I'm thinking Matuidi. I'm thinking the Roma lad, Nainggolan. But yeah, it is tough, isn't it? Because I want somebody who can come in and sort of Fosu Mensah can study them for a couple of years, and then it becomes his position. So you've got to go with somebody with a bit of experience. Not Eric Dyer for me. I think I'd go Matuidi, to be honest. I think I would. I think somebody like that, who's played with Pogba before, can come in and do the job. So it would be him. So I've only signed two so far. Into the midfield, I'm very happy with it. Herrera, Pogba, happy with them. Obviously, Pereira coming back. We've still got Mata, still got Mkhitaryan. We probably do need another body in there, really, but we're going to retain Carrick for another year, aren't we? So, yeah, poor audio. Oh, I'm getting really, really fed up with this because it's the wrong audio. Wrong audio. Okay. Let me have a quick look. Is it all right to carry on? It will be better now, but is it all right to carry on is the question. Throw it out to me. All right to carry on or not? So where was I? Into the midfield. We probably do need somebody else, but it's my dream summer, so I'm happy if we get a centre defensive midfielder in, retain Carrick. We've got Herrera, we've got Pogba, we've got Pereira coming back. And then I think we definitely need some width. It wouldn't be Rodriguez for me. I want somebody with a bit of pace, and I think Willian is somebody that it's back to good audio. That's good. Well, we'll carry on. Johnny said it's fine anyway. So I like Willian. I think as a right midfielder, that's what we need. I want Tony Martial to play on the left, and I wouldn't mind us getting somebody like Bruma from Galatasaray, someone like that with a lot of pace about them, who needs a bit of guidance. Yes, that would please me. And the number 10 is the key position. It's got to be Griezmann. Griezmann is the man. And then my number 9 would be, it would either be Aubameyang, Icardi, or Dream Ronaldo. Somebody to replace Zlatan and score the goal. So effectively, the only signings I would make for a dream summer would be De Gea, centre back, centre defensive midfielder, number 10,
and a striker and a wide man. And that's it. And I'll be happy with that. That would be my dream summer signing. Who goes out the door is obviously important. For me, again, Rooney's got to go. Either one of Jones and Smalling or both have got to go. For me, it would be Phil Jones. I can't sell Lingard because he's just signed a new contract. So it's unrealistic for people to think that. Zlatan will go because of his injury. Carrick's going to stay. I would have got rid of him, but I think it's a masterstroke by Mourinho to keep him, to be fair. Fellaini I would get rid of, and Ashley Young I'd get rid of him as well. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much what mine would be. I don't know what you think. I mean, Richard Lee says Andreas Pereira of a centre attacking midfield, of course. But let's do this bit because I am looking forward to doing this. So let me just get this right. The question that went out onto Twitter. Look how it works. Look what I can do now. Saturday Night Live questions at 8 PM. Type yours below and we'll read them out on air. That's what we put out on Twitter. We've got Magical Maroon says, Do you think people underrate Fellaini? I think they overrate him. I don't think he's that good. PSR, MUFC, De Gea, Valencia, Bay, Pogba are only players good enough to play every week if we want to become a European elite again. Will rather sign Bernardo Silva or James Rodriguez, says at MZM Tuny. Good question. It's a good question, that is. That is a good question. I would say Rodriguez. I would say Rodriguez, but it's a very close one. Do you think Griezmann is the solution to all our issues, or are we signing him because of the money we've reduced? I think Griezmann's a great player. I said this time last year, he was the summer signing, my dream summer signing. So I actually have got a lot of time for Griezmann. I think he'd be brilliant for United because he's very clinical, and we've missed that this season. If we put the ball in the back of the net this season, we'd be in the top four and we'd still be in a Europa League final. So it would be a good season. So a clinical finisher and he's good. Who's more likely to win the Ballon d'Or, Fellaini or Jesse? Mad Marcus is more likely to win the Ballon d'Or than them two. If we win the Europa League, would you consider the season to be a success? No, you've got to be honest. I don't want to be a hypocrite. It's been a failure in the Premier League no matter what happens. But if we come out of the season with a Europa League that we've never won and we're in the Champions League, then it is a success. But I don't think you can... I think it's a weird season that you can't sort of sum it up as a collective. I think you've got to divide it. And I think you've got to say Premier League was a disaster. Europa League, if we win it, is a positive. League Cup, does anyone really care? And the FA Cup, well, we were fortunate to get knocked out, really, because we couldn't have done it, could we? With all the incoming signings and outgoing, which youth stars will actually be part of the regular squad next season? Fosu Mensah, Rashford, Twan-Sibi will be the three definites. I hope he'll give Pereira a chance, but he could loan him out again. I think he deserves a chance. And we might see sporadic bits for some of the others. Gomez, I don't think he'll be ready next season, although hopefully he'll play tomorrow. I think the others probably need loans, to be honest. If you're talking about McTominay, maybe Roshan Williams, people like that, get them out on loan. How many goals do you think Fellaini and Lingard will score in the final? I hope they both get a hat-trick and then we win. We've got 6 goals, so we should win. Superman United, is free training just a tricky tactic, or it's actually letting the lads play on their own and letting them free in the final, being relaxed? I don't know. I don't really understand the context of that, sorry. Murtar, whilst my brain's working, it's very rare. Do you think Adidas might pay towards us signing James Rodriguez? I talked about that on the transfer show this morning. I think Adidas will be very happy if we signed Rodriguez, but I think the great thing about Mourinho is he is very determined about what he wants, isn't he? We'll come back to that. Don't worry, we will come back to the Twitter stuff, but I want to mix it. Oh, look how messy I am today. Do your top button up. Yes, we'll come back to that. I want to whiz around all sorts of questions tonight. So let's have a look. Please do drop a like. It's a new sort of show that we might continue. Fellaini will score in the final. Mark my words, says Tommy Van Pemelan, hopefully. Brandon Johnston says, this season a failure. Beck, don't worry, I will come back to it. We will go back to the Twitter. Now you lot start asking your questions. Then we'll do some Snapchats as well. However, Griezmann would be a good shout. Who is top goal scorer in the Europa League? Don't care. That's from Aristocat. Sorry, I'm not being rude. Is Ibra going to play? Thank you, Wavy Z, for reminding me something that I'd made a note of myself to mention. Will Zlatan play in the final? Will he, heck? I mean, what is going on with that? I hope no United stand viewers have been tweeting out, oh, Zlatan could play in the final. Whoa. You're better than that. You're way, way better than that. Come on. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is not playing in the final. All he's done is posted a photo on Instagram of himself walking along a swimming pool, saying looking forward to the final. He's going to the final because, and Rojo's going, and Young's going, and Luke Shaw goes. Mourinho said they'll go on crutches. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has smashed his knee apart in terms of the knee injury you can do. He's had major knee injury surgery. About 10 years ago, this would be an injury that puts him out for a year and it would be career-threatening at his age. Obviously, he's going to recover. We've heard the positive things about his knee, but he's walking in a swimming pool. For those who don't understand about how you recover from injuries, he's walking in a swimming pool because it puts less weight on his knee. He wouldn't be able to walk normally out of a swimming pool. And people think he's going to be playing in a Europa League Cup final in 3 days' time. I say this with all due respect. The naivety it made me laugh. I couldn't believe the amount of people who thought, "Oh, it's all a big smokescreen." What a brilliant bit of management by Mourinho. There's absolutely no chance he's playing on Wednesday. In fact, I would say with some certainty, I don't think he'll play football again before November. Probably longer. It's a major injury that he's had, and it's going to be a long road to recovery, which he will make. But he is not going to be fit on Wednesday, and I would be amazed if any United stand viewer thought that he was. Danish Shastri says, we could get Perisic and Bruma in the cost of James. These two with Griezmann, Hernandez and a great centre-back will solve all our problems. Thoughts? Thanks for the contribution, Danish. Remember, we are, from yesterday, any super chats we get now, we will be putting it into a pot. 10% of every one will go into a pot and we are going to give it to a charity. I was reading some of your comments yesterday. I still think we're going to go with Macmillan. A few of you said what about the Manchester United Foundation, which is fantastic, but obviously Manchester United are billionaires as a club. They've got a lot of money to put into that charity. We want to put it something that's personal to us, and at the moment Macmillan Cancer is one that's certainly personal to me and Drawty and a few others, so I think that's what we will go with. So thanks for that contribution. Shari Kari is Sharia Kaya has said, why United is desperate for top four. United cannot win the UEFA Champions League. Thanks for that. Thanks for the contribution as well. Lovenish B says he would prefer Matuidi over Bakayoko or Matic. It's United Stand MUFC on Snapchat for people. I forgot about that. It's United Stand MUFC, all one word. It's a bit like our Twitter at United Stand MUFC. It's all one word. Abdullah says, if he plays, would you do a suicide? If he plays, I will do any forfeit you want me to do. I would go as far as saying that I'd get naked, but that's not what people want to see at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night. But I will do anything you want. I will do anything you want because he's not playing on Wednesday. And look, maybe a lot of you've got no experience of knee injuries and stuff like that, but over the 30 odd years I've been watching football, many of my favourite players and others have had knee injuries. Roy Keane had one when Haaland went down on him and had to go at him for feigning an injury, and so Keane certainly got him back. But yeah, I mean, modern medicine is better now, but you don't recover from a knee injury like that in 2 weeks, and you certainly aren't walking along a swimming pool on Saturday because you can't put weight on your leg and then playing in a final 3 days later. It's never, ever, ever going to happen. Adam Mick, thanks for that comment. I'm not reading it out, so well done for that. Do it again, you're blocked. Who do you suggest to lead the line on Wednesday night? Martin Mugo. It's got to be Rashford. It's got to be Rashford. Hallam899 Live says I worked with the Manchester United Foundation. It's a fantastic charity. How is nobody talking about Messi? And I think he's leaving Barcelona. Jermaine from Jamaica. Is he? Is he? Messi leaving Barcelona? I don't see anything on the news. No, I thought it was some sort of breaking news there. I do know that Messi's contract's up at the end of next year. It's a bit like Alexis Sanchez and Ross Barkley and Will Keane, that something has to happen this summer. But everything I've been told is that Messi will stay at Barcelona. There you go. Wear a Man City shirt. I'll wear a Man City shirt if Zlatan plays. I know I won't have to wear one. Oh, I'm fed up with these comments, to be honest. Premjit Sahar, sorry to shout you out, mate, but he says Lingard can perform in the final. He has a knack for that kind of thing. He plays well in big matches. Lingard scores a couple of goals at Wembley and everyone suddenly thinks he turns up in finals. Look, those goals were really important for us, but if you take the goal away in both those games, his performances were bang average. He scored, yes, brilliant, fantastic, but his performances were bang average in both those games, especially in the League Cup. He scored a good goal against Middlesbrough when he whacked it in. That was a good goal. And then he had a good game there. He played well against Chelsea when I went to that game. And he played well in the first half against West Brom at Christmas. But I think he's had a really poor season. And I think people who... It's a bit like the Fellaini comment. Oh, he scored 3 goals in the semi-finals to get us into finals. I thought he was absolutely atrocious in both legs of the semi-finals against Celta Vigo. He scored the goal. We all celebrated it. It was absolutely fantastic. But why do people keep going on about Fellaini? Oh, he scored the goal. Do people forget the cross that Rashford put in? I mean, I would have scored that header. I would. If you've got any legs on you and a bit of mobility, you should be scoring that. The cross was absolutely on his forehead, out of nothing, 6 yards out from goal. It was any professional footballer should have scored that goal, and he scored it because, and I totally think it was a fantastic goal. Well done, Marouane Fellaini. I'm not digging him out on this at all. It was a good, he scored the goal. We've missed a lot of chances like that this season, so well done. He scored the goal, but to say, oh, he's the one who's got us here, well, football's a little bit more in depth than that, and the cross from Rashford got us there because it was out of nothing. Lingard is better than Neymar, says MUFC 20 times. I agree with you, mate. I do. Fellaini is my hero, says Tommy. Well done. I think Jose may shock everyone and actually play our best team. We can sit back and give these guys confidence. I can't wait for the game tomorrow, by the way. 2 o'clock is when we'll be live with the team news, which is going to be very interesting. And then it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. I appreciate that if you're in the UK, it's a bloody nightmare because it won't be on telly. But then again, can you blame anybody? We've been awful in the league this year and it's totally dead rubber. So, but we will be doing a watch along, so don't worry about that. Let's do a couple of Snapchats. This is very, very fast paced tonight. I'm not used to not really having an agenda, but it's all good in the hood. Okay, Wazay Khan.
Hi Mark, do you think Manchester United should have a women's team? Thank you.
Wazzy Khan says, do you think Manchester United should have a women's team? You know what? I don't want to dwell on it too much because it's a bit political, but I have a daughter who is 7 years old. She's a very good footballer, and if she actually got to being a professional footballer, I would want her to play for Manchester United. At this moment in time, that's not possible. So I have a vested interest in it. I think it's poor, really. I think Manchester United, definitely the biggest club in England, arguably the biggest club in the world. We should have a women's football team. I don't know the politics behind why we don't. But we 100% should. I think it's really poor that we don't have one, and I'd love us to have one. It would make me take a lot more interest in women's football if Manchester United had a team, which is very good and very up and coming. I mean, my daughter, like I say, she's 7. She plays 7 to 5 year olds, and at that age they play against. It's mixed, and she's as good as any of the lads there. So she's very obviously like her dad. I was very good at women's football as well. Fatboy Slim 254.
Hi Mark. Next season, where do you think we'll be able to get in the league? Do you think we'll be able to challenge for the title?
I think we're going to win it, mate. I've been quite consistent about that. I think we will win the league next season. I won't veer away from that. I've been saying it all season, we'll win the league next year. Mourinho always wins it in the first 2 years, so I'll stick with that. Luke Pender? Would you rather manage Liverpool for a year and get them relegated, or manage United and win the league, but next 2 years you come 5th? United, thanks. Jordan? Hello. Owen Harrison.
Do you think Griezmann will be signed in the summer transfer window? If so, how much for?
I think Griezmann will be signing in the summer transfer window, and it'll be 90 million because it's all we need to pay. His release clause is 89 million, so effectively 89 million or 90 million will do the deal, won't it? Beerit. Oh no, hit the wrong one. Beerit 666. Just wants me to follow him. Mr. Hersey 98.
It was the ice on the runway that made the aeroplane go.
Oh, that's disgusting, isn't it? Absolutely disgusting when you're live. I hope a lot of you missed that because, yeah. Bex.
I just want to know if people are saying Joe's out, who do they actually want? Because I don't think there is anyone.
It's a good question, Bex, but I don't want Jose out. But I suppose if Jose Mourinho just decided he's had enough and he walked away from Manchester United tomorrow, then my manager for Manchester United, and this is only if Mourinho decided to stay, I did say it a long time ago, in the Premier League I like Pochettino and Koeman, and out of the Premier League I like Ancelotti. So they were one of those three for me. Right, we'll come back to Twitter in a minute. Snapchat in a minute. Dylan Hogan, what was that? We won't even entertain it. That's what it was. It was just a complete idiot, and the more we talk about it, the more they get what they want. Sad people. Sad people. Okay, let's go back to the Twitter and let's see what we've got on there. Where were we? How many players are we expecting this summer? Says Afalabi. I'd say 5, maybe 6, with the same amount going out. I think 3 or 4 will go out, and I think we'll sign 5 or 6. Leon Parkins, would you prefer Griezmann or Aubameyang? Yeah, it still would be Griezmann, to be honest. Who's partnering Blind in defence versus Ajax? I would go Chris Smalling, Danny Collins. Bale or Griezmann, says Joe Murphy. I'd still go Griezmann. Fellaini out, says Howson or Fellaini. What, to play for Manchester United? I think it's got to be Fellaini, hasn't it? Ronak Parek says, who should partner Bay in defence? I'd sign somebody, Ronak. I would. I think I said Marquinhos or Varane for me at the moment. If we get Champions League, what is the realistic goal? Says Manip. For next season, it's got to be the Premier League title's got to be the number 1 goal. If we can do well in the Champions League, great. But we've got to go for the title next year. Jamie says, who do you think will stand out next year for Manchester United? It's hard to tell. If we sign Griezmann, I think he'll have a good season. If we sign a number 9 of real note, I think they'll have a good season. We'll have to revisit that in August, Jamie, really. But I think Pogba will be better next year. Luke Pender, would you rather manage Liverpool? I've done that one. You did it on Snapchat as well. Good one. A Murtar, should we exchange Martial in any deal for Mbappe? No. Brandon Didier says, the fact that Rooney isn't playing versus Palace is being rested for the final. Maybe he'll have 1 more year at United. No Old Trafford sending off. God, I hope not. He's got to go. Rooney's been a fantastic servant for Manchester United. I think we'd all agree with that. He certainly has, hasn't he? But it's the decline's too much. You can't carry a player like that. You really can't carry a player like that. So I think it's time for him to go. I mean, I don't know what you lot all think, but I hope he plays tomorrow. I hope he gets some time tomorrow, and I hope he moves on from that and goes somewhere and finds some form. But to be honest, I mean, I don't know what you think very quickly on Rooney. He's got to leave Manchester United because the decline's been appalling this season. It's sad. But if he goes to Everton, I don't know what Everton fans think, whether they would want him. I mean, I would give a warning to Everton fans and say, look, I know Rooney is a local lad and everything like that, and I really hope he can find some form for you, but he's not going to get back to the Rooney that everyone remembers. He's not. The decline is real, folks. And I don't, Everton are a team that came 7th this season. I had quite a good season. I don't know whether Rooney's even that quality anymore. I think the MLS is the place for him, to be honest. Pradney says, do you think we should buy back Memphis Depay? No. I don't think you should go back, really. I know we did with Pogba, and I know we're thinking of doing it with Michael Keane, but no. I don't want to get Memphis back. I think if you brought Memphis back as well, he failed once. The pressure, if we signed him again, the pressure would just be on him all the time. And I think the problem with Memphis, from what I saw at United and what we've seen subsequently and what you see what he's like on social media and what we heard before we signed him, is that attitude-wise, he is a bit of a big head. And that, if you're going to be a big head, there's nothing wrong with it, but you've got to perform on the pitch. And he never did at United. Apart from Midtjylland, who were pub farmers, weren't they, from Denmark? Beck Howell says a few Everton fans want him. I can understand why they want him, but my warning to them would be, don't expect to get Rooney what you think back. That was poor English. Rooney's painful to watch. Thanks for the memories, says the tech sock, which is blunt but fair. Thanks for the memories. Oh yes, but he's just so poor these days. So poor. Maybe a change of scenery might be right for him. What he needs to do is get fitter and lose a bit of weight, really. I mean, I don't know whether it's true about him smoking, drinking, or anything like that. It's unfair to say that when you don't know, but he certainly doesn't look as trim as he could be. Maybe he can't be. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know what the issue is with Rooney. I just remember that fitness coach saying a few years ago that Ronaldo was obsessed with fitness and Rooney just wasn't interested. He just wanted to kick a ball. And in the modern game, you've got to manage both. Indy Tiger, if Memphis can't perform in France, he can't perform in the Premier League. I mean, it's a bit like Lacazette, isn't it? We've spoken about him over a couple of years as to whether he could be Manchester United quality. And I think 2 years ago, we were sort of thinking, oh, you know, he could be a striker that would be good for us. But he's still playing in France. He doesn't get picked for France, does he, up front? I think Lacazette is just the French Jermaine Defoe. And I wouldn't want the Jermaine Defoe at Manchester United. So I think Lacazette is a sort of West Ham striker. I don't think he's a top 4 striker. Who would be the best centre-back partnership for Bay? I've covered that. Mark, look at Zlatan's Instagram. Is he back for the final? Oh, Lewis. Oh, Lewis, please. No. We spoke about it 10 minutes ago, and I was saying surely nobody on the United Stand community would fall for that and think that he's going to play. And Lewis, I've read it out. If I'd thought about it, I wouldn't have read it. He's not playing in the final. He's recovering from a major knee injury, and he's walking in a swimming pool because he can't put weight on his knee out of a swimming pool because it helps in a swimming pool to, you know, loosen the gravity. I mean, I use it for my back a lot. I'll go in a pool and the gravity and pressure is far, far better. All he's saying is, I'm going to the final, because he is going to the final. Looking forward to the final, or whatever he said, he's going to the final because all the injured players are going to the final. He's not playing in it. Yeah, he's not playing in it. James Solent says, yes, he's back for the final. Mr. Pineapple Hero says, I'm underrating Lacazette. Cameron Davies, you're making me laugh. Will Luke Shaw be left back next season, says Shahas. Yes, I hope so. I really, really do hope so. Because he's English. I think he's good enough. It's all about fitness and getting Mourinho to trust him. If I was a betting man, I'd say I think we'll sign a left back this summer. I think Mourinho, you know, it's quite obvious he has an issue with Luke Shaw, but I would hope that it is him as our left back next season, because I think he's a potentially great young left back, and I think I want it to work for him. Jerry says, how does the pool help your back, Mark? I have a lot of neck and back issues. Going in a swimming pool, it's just like you don't weigh as much. It's all about gravity in a swimming pool, so you are supported by the water. So if you are walking along, it's a bit like being on the moon, isn't it? If you walk along a swimming pool, you're very bouncy and everything, aren't you? So that's why. And also the resistance. It's like the resistance is smooth. There is resistance there, so it will strengthen all your muscles, but there's not as much impact and weight on your joints and things like that. So it's very good. Swimming and everything's very, very good for back and neck issues and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, Zlatan wouldn't be able to walk like that if he wasn't in a pool. Thoughts on the Neymar rumours, says Aftar. Yeah, Gungshi's right. The buoyancy in the water helps. Yeah, Neymar, it just cost a hell of a lot of money, which we would make back in merchandise. He's a bit like, you know, Neymar can be the biggest world star in the next 2 or 3 years because Messi and Ronaldo will go. And Manchester United, as I've said to you before, Woodward's been after him for 3 years. It's common knowledge. He'd love to sign him. There's no bigger Galactico than that. The trouble with Neymar is he is totally about the money, and a lot of footballers are. He's coming to Manchester United for the money and that, but there's just something about the Neymar deal that just doesn't feel right to me. I mean, I certainly would take Ronaldo over Neymar. It just doesn't feel right. I don't really think Neymar to United's going to happen, by the way. Apparently his father's said he should come to Manchester United and be the big star instead of being in the shadow of Messi. I don't think it will happen. Obviously, I'd be excited if it did. But yeah, Tom Butler's got a good question here. Will we sell Chris Smalling? I don't think we will. And I don't think that we should. Because Chris Smalling, actually, I think, well, last season he was our best centre-back, arguably one of the best centre-backs in the league. This year he's struggled. And we all know why he's struggled, because he's not had the protection of two centre defensive midfielders in front of him, which Van Gaal always played. Which, I've just got a great point to bring up about Van Gaal, apparently. I have. The point is, apparently. But Smalling, he's also our best centre-back in the air. I think I look at what Mourinho's done with Rojo and Jones for a little bit before Christmas, and I think if he can actually get a bit of time with Smalling and a bit of a relationship with Smalling, then he can turn him into a really good centre-back. I don't think he should be first choice, But I think as a third and fourth choice centre-back, which you need, I think Smalling would be ideal. Phil Jones has got to go, because whatever you think about Phil Jones, he will always get injured. He's always, this season was the first time in 4 years that he played 6 games in a row. That's appalling. I said it 2 summers ago, and I got into an argument with somebody because he had shin splints, and I said I had shin splints when I was 15, and you never recover from it, and you start to get other injuries from it. And the person who was arguing with me was saying, well, I had shin splints and I'm fine. So I sort of agreed and said, look, it affects different people different way, but actually, if you have shin splints, then it can be quite impactful, and it can cause you to have to stop playing football altogether. But it will also cause your body to compensate, because shin splints, basically, what used to happen to me, and how I got it, was one summer when I was about 14, 15. The winter had been raining really bad. I used to play Saturday, Sunday and school football. So when it hit March and the weather got better, we had a backlog of fixtures, and I think in the April and May, if I wasn't training, I must have been playing games, virtually playing 6 games a week for about 4 weeks. And by week 3, I went to the doctors and they said, with shin splints, you've got to stop playing. But I still had 3 weeks left of the season. We had a number of cup finals and we were going for the title. So obviously I kept playing. But what used to happen is I'd play for the 45 minutes, and then about 10 minutes into the second half, the pain would be excruciating, and I'd either try and play through it or I'd have to come off. But then what happens is you start to get other injuries like thighs, knees, because the pain you get in your shins, you overcompensate, and it's a body's natural thing. And I think that's what happens. I think Phil Jones is very injury prone as well. So whatever, I mean, I don't rate Phil Jones anyway. I think he's had I don't think he's a great defender, but although he did have a good run this year. But the problem with Phil Jones is, for me, he could be Varane, he could be Baresi, but he's still going to get injured, and you can't. I would rather have a defender who plays 40 games a season at 7 out of 10 than a defender who is a 10 out of 10 defender but only gives you 10 games, because it's the consistency, especially at the centre-back partnership. You need somebody who's going to play 40 games a season, and Phil Jones can't do it, so he would have to go for me. What I was going to talk about Van Gaal was the apparently he's helping Ajax. Now I've not had this verified, but a few of you said it as well, is that he is going to help Ajax tactically. Well, we don't play like Van Gaal anymore. We don't play 2 centre defensive midfielders. We don't play tiki-taka around the centre of the pitch and backwards and sideways passing. So I don't know how he's going to help us. I mean, I think about the players that we've got at the club now that we had when Van Gaal was in charge, and I get quite positive and, United, come on then. Because it's like, well, you didn't play Herrera and Mata, so you're not going to help Ajax with that. Fellaini can help him with that, because you were another idiot who played him. But Smalling, centre-back. Rashford, you hardly knew anything about him. Martial, well, he probably won't start. Lingard, you didn't really play him much. You did play Valencia at right back, but we're a totally different team, is my point. So Van Gaal can help him all he likes. I don't think that's going to be any advantage for them. Neymar will never come, trust me, says the PS3 killer. Chad, you can't say that. It's homophobic. How good do you think Twansibi will be in the future, says Sean Quinn. It's a really good question, and I'm glad that we've been asked that on a show like tonight, because we are coming towards tomorrow, obviously, and we've got a lot of young players that are going to be involved in the game, which is fantastic. And my thoughts on Twansibi and Fosu Mensah and Rashford and Pereira the goalkeeper, so that's 5 players, is that every single one of them have the potential to be Manchester United, certainly first team squad members, and many of them first teamers. Rashford, yes, can be anything he wants to be. Fosu Mensah, I remember Jose Mourinho having Michael Essien at Chelsea, and I think Fosu Mensah can be that sort of player. I really do, or better. Fosu Mensah I'm very confident about. Twansibi, I look at him, what is he, 19 years of age? He's been playing as a centre defensive midfielder. He's played right back. He's not even played in the position many feel is his best, which is centre back yet. He's still got some bulking out to do, and obviously as a teenager, your coordination and everything needs to settle down a bit. He's got all that to come. Again, the future's anything he wants it to be. Pereira looks like being a really good goalkeeper, of which Mourinho has been very complimentary about. So yeah, I think, and Andres Pereira, I've been a massive fan of his. If you've been following the United stand for pretty much since we've been doing it, I really believe in him. And people laughed at me in the week when I said that Pereira is a better option than James Rodriguez. Well, James Rodriguez is 26 this summer. Pereira's not 22 till January. There's a 5-year gap. And maybe at 21, Rodriguez was a better player. But, I mean, I just think Pereira can be anything he wants to be. So that's 6 players that, without talking about Angel Gomez, Tahith Chong, Callum Gribbin, and Roshan Williams, who I think that any of those 4 could make it as well. And as I've said before on a couple of shows recently, when it comes to Manchester United and what we can achieve this season and in the future, not this season, what we can achieve in the future, to have even 2 youth players that we could say in the next 10 years can be first team players, actually, when you look at the last 20 years, is fantastic. Because I'll go back to it. Darren Fletcher, O'Shea, Welbeck, and a couple of others. Yeah, they've been. I mean, Fletcher's probably the best of the lot. They've been good players for us, but they've not been. They've not been class of '92 standard by any stretch of the imagination. So it's very exciting as to where and what we can achieve at Manchester United with these young players. But it has to be a mix. It can't be youth and. It can't be just youth, and we've got to sign players. And I know all our rivals always say, "Oh, Manchester United, you're just a signing club. That's all you do." Well, we've got to do that because we've bought so badly. We've bought so badly in the recent past, and we need to go and sign players. That's part of the rebuild process. But to have so many young players coming through is really exciting for Manchester United fans, and we are excited about it. I mean, let's be honest, I'm very excited about the youth, and I think we've got every right to be. So yeah, I think in the shortness, Twansibi can be a Manchester United player of the future in the first team, as can Fosu Mensah, as will Rashford. So yeah, we've got loads and loads of options, and I'm very, very excited to have that. Very, very excited, and I don't want people to sort of neglect that point, that we have got young players coming through that are going to be first team talent, and we haven't really had it for 20 years. So let's not forget it. While signing players is great, let's not forget what we actually have, which is something really, really exciting. Dane Warner says, "Hey Mark, this channel is awesome." I just want to say, in relation to the United stand, obviously this is a new show that we're thinking of doing on a Saturday night, which would run between 8 and 9 o'clock. If you like it, please like the video and give us your thought back. It was only an idea from this morning, from a bit of feedback of a couple of you lot. Obviously I normally do my tactics preview on my channel on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock, but I'm not doing it for tomorrow because it's pointless, and then there's no Premier League football till August. So we've got a slot 8 till 9, and I want to just sort of do, there'll be a headline that we'll talk about in the first few minutes, but then I want to sort of open up Snapchat, Q&A, or do Snapchat and again in a minute, MEH Gaming, your live comments, and Twitter, and really just fire. I mean, it's very tiring, to be honest, but I just want to fire off and sort of have a Saturday night live Q&A sort of United thing. So if you like the idea, drop us a like, and but also just keep spreading the word. We are getting close to 90,000, and 100,000 isn't impossible this summer. I was talking to Drawty today about some of the things we've got planned, and one of them I just can't wait to do. So, and I've already spoken to Martin, Rich and Kev. Many of you won't have been here at the start, but we started the United stand, one show a week on a Sunday night at 9 o'clock, or 8:30 as it is now, the Sunday night show. And it used to just be 4 of us talking about United. We get about 50 people watching, then it went to 100, and obviously it's massive now. But we are going to do a special, if we get there, 100k special in a raw hangout studio like it used to be with the 4 of us. So that'll be good fun. So we've got lots of things planned. And obviously, I was in town today, and went past the sports shop, and I saw for the first time the new Manchester United away kit, the black one. And I tell you what, I never buy Manchester United shirts anymore because I think I'm a bit too old for it. I just get tracksuit tops. But that is a fantastic away kit for next season, and we are giving 2 away at half time on the watch along for the Europa League final. So that's something, and they will be picked off. I'm sorry to do this to you, troll, because, well, your name's a bit trolly, but what would happen is on half time on the Europa League on Wednesday, if you're on there, I would go, "Troll, you're one of the winners." You're not. I've trolled you, but it could be you on Wednesday. But you know what I mean. We'll pick two, and I think Marcus is going to be on with me. He's picking one, and I'm picking another. So we are open for bribes. No, we're not. We're not. What we'll probably do is pick two based on your comments. So there we go. Kaylin Pilly says hashtag full-time Devils. They're a Manchester United fan channel. If you like them, well done. As I always say to everybody, why do you have to choose? If you choose because we're better, fantastic. If you like watching both and you still prefer us, but you watch both, fantastic. They're the options really. We're better and you don't watch them, or you watch both but we are better. Either way, it's fine. Jordan Gray, and I'm loving this. Can definitely see myself tuning into this regularly. Good. MAH Gaming says bring Zara back. I will ask her, but I don't know whether she will. I will ask her though. I've got something stuck in my teeth. Right. I've got something stuck in my teeth. Right, we've still got another while to go. So we're going to take some more Snapchats and Twitter and Q&A. However, I am going to do this because I messed it up this morning. And I know some of you might moan about it, but I am going to do it for the simple reason that... let me get that one off. I'm still here, don't worry. I'm still here. Oh, come on. Right, let me just do something here. What am I trying to do? We'll get there. We always do. Right, this is something we did this morning. The link is in the video description. It's called Fantas Feeder, and it is we've got a welcome bonus £5 thing. Now, I know some of you moaned in the live comments about it this morning, and you put the comments on there, which we totally take as feedback. But if I'm totally blunt with you, these sort of things, if we feel there's a user experience for our viewers, then we will do it, because it enables us to be able to do things like the giveaways we're doing for the Europa League. Got the 2 away kits to give away. This is just a bit of fun. The way it works is, as you'll see on your screen now, you sign up, you get a £5 bonus to do it. And what I've done is I've entered myself in this, the Premier League on Sunday, which is tomorrow's Premier League fixtures. There's currently a prize pool of £255. It's a £3 entry fee, but obviously if you've got your fiver, then you still have £2 left. So you go in to that, you enter the tournament. It's a 7-player team, so you've got a goalkeeper, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders and 2 strikers. So enter the tournament. Let me come out of that one because I've only got £1 left. So let me do the Chris Sutton free roll. So enter the tournament. There we go, and you get to pick your team of 7 players, which is based on Fantasy Premier League, a bit like that. And then obviously the person with the most points wins the game. So I'm going to randomise mine, whether that team's going to win or not, I don't know. A Phobie, so 2 strikers. Well, I'm definitely not going to win with Rooney. 2 midfielders, 2 defenders and a goalkeeper. Enter, and then what happens is you will go into that tournament. So £3 puts you into the Premier League on Sunday one for Premier League fixtures. There's a £255 prize pool there. But as I said, it's a £5 bonus from Fantas Feeder for you to do it. You don't have to put any of your own money in it. Get yourself registered. Have a go. There's only 1 game of the season. So it's a bit of a bonus thing for them, really. We're sort of looking at doing it more next season. But for 1 weekend, they've given you a free £5. Enter yourself in that Premier League on Sunday one, £3 entry. And enter a team and see how you do, and you might win 250 quid. So the link's in the video description for that. And yeah, it's a nice little bonus thing. And if I get myself back, things like that, I know people moan about it, but things like that will enable us to do better things on the United stand. And to be honest, I like fantasy football, as many of you do as well, so it's a little chance to do that. Chad Sproul says I haven't even. I am going to go and do mine after the show because I need to. I would like to try and win that, but last Premier League weekend of the season. Who would you put in goal? Everton, Arsenal, probably wouldn't fancy their goalkeeper. Liverpool, I'd probably put Mingele in because Borough are not going to score tomorrow. I'd probably put Coutinho in there. I don't know who Chelsea have got. Arsenal, definitely get Sanchez in. They're going to try and score a lot of goals against Everton. City players as well. I'd avoid United and Palace players. But yeah, it's a one-hit wonder. Have a go at it. It's a free to play. And I forgot to say, you can do it on desktop or you can do it on your phone. So I did it on the desktop there. Very easy to enter. All you need is an email address and get on it. And I've entered in that top one, the £3 one. So have a go. Let's do Snapchat. I'll tell you what as well. I've got a terrible mouth ulcer. It's really hurting me. So I've got like really sharp teeth that need. It's a long, boring story, but basically sometimes I'll bite something and it's quite a long fang and it ripped through the inside of my mouth, and it's really hard to avoid it. It's getting. I don't want to be vulgar. I don't want to be vulgar, but it's really hard to not get it. How to say infected, and yes, it is. CA Moron.
My name is back.
Yeah, I have to be very quick with this button now.
Stephen Housen or DT, would you rather? Stephen Housen or DT, would you rather?
Yeah, I'd stick with the United lad, to be honest. But to be fair, no. Nathan MUFC.
The Lego call.
Snapchat really brings out the toddler in people, doesn't it? Chrissy.
Who would you sign, Mark? Bale or Griezmann?
Griezmann. And he was very sensible as well. Thanks for that, Chrissy. Every day the same.
It just goes to show how bad we actually are that we're actually considering getting Memphis back.
Interesting point. Jordan, where do you think we will finish in all competitions next year? Premier League, win it. FA Cup and League, I hope we don't really bother too much about the League Cup and just play the reserves, which is what we should have done this year. Champions League, I'll be happy with get out the group stage, see what happens, because you never know, do you? You could get a tough draw. Michael?
Who was a better player for United? Van Persie or Ibrahimovic?
Oh, I liked that. Who was the better player for Manchester United? Zlatan Ibrahimovic or Robin Van Persie? Well, I'll throw it to the live comments. It has to be Robin Van Persie for me. I'll await your lot's live comments. There might be outrage about that. But look, Van Persie came into an ageing United team. It was Sir Alex Ferguson's, we didn't realise it at the time, his last throw of the dice, really, before he retired. And we won it. And it wasn't, we had a sulking Rooney for most of that year, a declining Ferdinand and Vidic and Evra. And Van Persie came in and was just absolutely fantastic. So Zlatan has done really well, and I'm a big fan of Zlatan's. I really am a big fan of Zlatan's, but it's got to be, it has to be the man, the very man himself, Robin Van Persie. And I'd be surprised if anybody went anything different than that. Just waiting for some of your live comments to come through. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Zlatan's, but Van Persie, easily. And I can't see anybody saying anything different on the live comments. Nicholas Turney, RVP, some of his goals were unreal. Van Persie won us the league, says Jaden Brown. I mean, I'd go as far as to say, and I've said it a few times, that Van Persie won us the league single-handedly. Our last title as well. Yeah, so it's got to be Van Persie. In fact, I suppose one way you could put about it is imagine Van Persie in this team this year, and I don't think we'd be winning the title this year. I think Chelsea not having any European football has been a massive, massive advantage for them. But I do think that Van Persie in the team this year, because he was way more clinical than Zlatan's been, although Zlatan has scored a lot of goals and had a good season, we'd be comfortably top four. Van Persie in this team would have been I think he'd have had 40 goals this season, because our striker should have had 40 goals this season. You think about the chances we've missed. Van Persie was always a very clinical striker. Reverend Zander says, who do you think will be the future manager of Manchester United? Well, I'll throw that to you lot as well, because again, it's a very good question. I think it would have to be... Well, I've got no idea. I don't think it can be anyone from the class of 92. I think that chance sort of came and went. Giggs has done nothing since leaving Manchester United, and I think what he should have done is, if he wanted the Manchester United job, he should now be in management. It's a season he's taken away. Gary Neville obviously talks a very good game on Sky, but Valencia again was a car crash, and I don't think he'll get back into the management game, which is a shame because he does talk a good game. Phil Neville is a coach. I think Scholes could be a really good manager, but he doesn't seem to want to go into it. Nicky Butt is doing good with the reserves. But I think Manchester United, the appetite to take that sort of risk is probably not there. Otherwise they would have done it with Giggs. So I think Manchester United now, having got Mourinho, they would probably try and get someone like Pochettino or someone like that. They would go for one of the best managers in the world. I think that's the route Manchester United are going now. And as long as that manager... look at Pochettino, what he's done at Spurs. He really is about the youth. So he would be perfect for United. But he might leave Spurs to go to Inter. You don't know. You don't know. I am going to go back to Twitter. Let me just get rid of that one. And add that one. And then go... where's Twitter? Don't know what's happening there. No, don't want to do that. There's nowhere to hide when you're live. Right, is that working? Yeah, okay. How many goals do you think? Oh no, we've done that. Who should play partner? Yeah, we've done that. We've done that. Have you considered having a United Stand fan meet at any point? Yes, we have. It's just whether we would get the numbers to do it. And obviously, we'd probably look to do it. I think we'd do one in Dublin. We'd do one in Europe. We'd do one in Asia. We do one in America. But I don't know whether we're big enough to do that yet. It's very hard to gauge what the numbers are. But I would like to do it because I think it'd be great to sort of have somewhere that we could all meet up around the world in different areas. But I don't know. I don't know what the appetite to do it is. And obviously, it involves a bit of travelling. But you can film anywhere these days, can't you? So, we could do stuff for the channel on the hop. It'd be great. If you have one player back who Van Gaal sold, who would it be from MUFC Chance? That's a fantastic question. Get in the live comments about that. For me, it would be... I suppose it's who you take back now. I wouldn't take Van Persie back now because he's, he is getting on a bit now. It would have to be, off the top of my head, you could say Di Maria, but it would be Hernandez or Raphael for me, because both of them got, for foreign players, they both got what United was all about. So it'd be one of those two. And because we've got Valencia, it would be Hernandez, because I think this season he would be brilliant. I would have kept Danny Welbeck as well, by the way. Not as a first team player, but as a squad player, I thought he was perfect. Michael Davis, who is your favourite person to talk to on the United stand? No comment. Reach Chanchino says, would you like Mendy at Manchester United as our first team left back and have James as 10 and Griezmann as a winger? No, I wouldn't have that bottom situation. I want Griezmann at 10. Would I have Mendy at left back? I did say a few weeks ago, didn't I, that I suspected that Mendy might be coming to Manchester United. Apparently he's linked to Liverpool. I'd rather we had Luke Shaw, but I do like Mendy. He's basically a left back at Valencia, so yeah, that could work out quite well. Jake Wilders can't wait to see Pereira back. I just hope he uses him. Do I think Gomez will play tomorrow, says Cameron? I really hope he does. I really do hope that he does. Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Even just 10 minutes. And I think, why wouldn't Mourinho do that? Cyborg, where do you think we'll be in 3 years' time? Do you think we'll have Fosu, Mensah, Twansibi, Pereira, the two in the starting squad? It's hard to predict where United will be in 3 years' time. If you'd said to me 3 years ago, where will Manchester United be in 3 years' time, which was basically, was that when we sacked Moyes? Yes, it was. God, it's 4 years since Alex Ferguson went now, isn't it? Where do I think we'll be in 3 years' time? Hopefully we'll have won the title and the Champions League. I think the Champions League is always a bit hit and miss. You know, you can be very good candidates for the Champions League and not win it. But the Premier League, we've got to win that in the next 3 years, because if we haven't, that's 7 years without the title. That's too long for Manchester United. So, yeah, I think we'd have to win the title for me in the next 3 years. Mark, would you take Nani back as a squad player at United to Shaka Phillips? I always quite liked Nani, to be honest. But I think there's probably better now. H Gaming, thoughts on Zlatan's post? Obviously not everybody in the United stand community has realised that he's not playing on Wednesday. What happened to Varela? Says Anthony Evelyn. He went to Germany, didn't he? I think he got injured. I never rated him anyway. I don't think he's good enough. The Yannisai one will be interesting. We've got to sell Yannisai. He should not be given a year at Manchester United next year. Get rid of him. I've just got a bad feeling we're going to keep him. Get rid of him. Yeah. James Arnold said Hernandez. Daniel Lewis, how you doing, Mark? Good. Hernandez or Keane, says MEH Gaming. Raphael. Oh, Michael Keane he's on about, isn't he? Yeah, the Burnley centre-back. You know what, I don't really want him back, so to say he wouldn't be the player that Van Gaal sold for me. I don't know whether he's a Manchester United first team player, but I know Hernandez would give us a lot. It'd have been fantastic this season, bringing him on in the last 10 minutes. Rooney in his prime or Rashford now, says Sam Moyes. Look, I don't rate Rooney now. I think it's almost like playing with 10 men, which is hard to say that. But I'm not going to be a fair weather United fan. Look, Rooney at Rashford's age was world class. He was. I mean, Rooney's best years, and a lot of you probably aren't old enough to remember, but I can. I remember watching Rooney in the Euro 2004 and when he first signed for United, and he was world class. That's where the world class thing comes from. He was absolutely world class. He used to run it. I remember him terrifying France's, and this was a very good France team in 2004. I remember him tearing Thuram an absolute new arsehole in the Euro 2004 in the group stage. He was absolutely brilliant. One of the most exciting players I've seen play for Manchester United. So when I'm critical of him now and people call me a Rooney hater, it makes me laugh because I remember him way before many of these Rooney fanboys do, and he was world class. What happened is we then signed Ronaldo, and Sir Alex Ferguson had a choice to make. He couldn't give two of them the freedom of Manchester United because you've got to play within a team. One of them was going to have to be a grafter and one of them was going to be the star. And he picked Ronaldo. And he was right to pick Ronaldo because look at what Ronaldo's gone on to achieve and look at Rooney, what he's gone on to achieve. But the bad thing about what happened to Rooney is when he became this player that, you know, he gets this thing attached to him, Rooney, that, oh, he'd play anywhere. He just wanted to play football. You could have played him at centre-back. And when he was a forward, he was chasing back to left-back. And Sir Alex Ferguson can play him on the left wing or anything like that, which is true. This used to happen a lot because Rooney did want to play football. But what Rooney lost in that was that ability to run at people and that burst of real finesse. And Ronaldo obviously kept it and went on and on to Real Madrid and absolute universe status. And Rooney became, from being world-class, I think probably around 2008, he just became top class. which is great. He's been a great servant for us, but I don't think, if I'm totally honest, Rooney fulfilled what he could have been because we signed Ronaldo and because Ronaldo became the star of the team and Rooney had to adapt and become a little bit more of a worker instead of being the focal point of the team. And I'll stand by that. But before that, and when we first signed him, he was the star of the team, the young star, and he was absolutely world class. He stopped being world class though because we got Ronaldo, and Ronaldo became the star, and Rooney had to graft more, and he lost that finesse and that ability to run at people, which was amazing when he first burst on the scene. So Rashford or Rooney now, it would be Rooney. Rooney was fantastic at that age. But if we're talking about the Rooney we've got now and the Rashford we've got now, it's obviously Rashford. And he is, like Inexorable Midget says, Rooney's gone. He's gone, and it is very sad. But we mustn't forget the past, and he was a very, very, very good player. Our Dizzle, Rooney lost his touch and spatial awareness speed. He's lost that in the recent years, but he lost a lot because Sir Alex Ferguson used him, and I think Sir Alex got it totally right. You know, you look at Rooney, he did just want to play football. You could play him at left back. He'd play anywhere. You couldn't play Ronaldo at left back or centre back. You didn't see Ronaldo chasing back and flying tackles in. The appetite for football that Rooney had was probably more than Ronaldo, but Ronaldo was the better star and the harder worker in the way he focused his game. We were very lucky to have both, but I think by having both, it hindered Rooney. Yeah, so I could go on for all night. I could go on all night, but I think that'll do. Thanks everybody for watching. If you are new, please do subscribe to the channel. What I would say is, it's the bottom right hand corner. We do a lot of shows like this. We are live at 8:30 every night, as people will tell you. We will be live tomorrow at 2 o'clock with the watch along all the way through till full time. We've got transfer dailies at 7 AM, 6 days a week. There won't be one tomorrow. Loads going on. A fantastic, vibrant community, as you've seen today on the live comments, on Twitter and on Snapchat. I quite liked this concept. I'm willing to do it again next Saturday night as a new show at this time for an hour. If people are interested in it, drop a like and give us your thoughts on it, because it was just a spur of the moment thing. It's been quite hectic, but I've quite enjoyed it. So if you've enjoyed it, let us know in the comments if you're not watching live, and do drop a like. 24 of you haven't liked it. I don't know what's going on there, but haters are going to hate. But yeah, 2 o'clock tomorrow we're live with the team news. That's going to be very interesting. But give us your feedback on this, and if you are new, drop a subscribe on there. We might, there's a slim chance we might hit 90,000 before full time on Wednesday, which would be great. But remember, we've got those 2 United shirts to give away. And also don't forget the sign up for the fantasy football thing. Just have a little go tomorrow night. Tomorrow, just you've got a £5 thing. Have a go. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Oh, wait a minute. There's a super chat. Tushar Gupta, thanks for the contribution. He says, which Ajax players do we need to watch out for? Well, I don't want to cut you short, Tushar, but watch tomorrow night, Sunday night show. We're going to start as soon as the game's done tomorrow, Sunday night, all the way through till kick-off on Wednesday. It's all about Ajax. And I'm going to do, for those who are moaning, saying, why haven't you done your FIFA tactics preview on your channel tonight? I am going to do an Ajax one. So that's to come as well. But it's all about that after the game tomorrow. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all soon. Remember to drop a like and a subscribe if you're new, and tell us what you think about this new concept. Thanks for watching.